So firstly, I think what's important is education and the role of critical thinking and analytical thinking in it. So for example, in Slovakia, we still focus, or our educational system focuses more on rote learning than maybe developing critical thinking. So for me, this was something that I worked on mostly during my time when studying in the UK. And where I also learned to voice my own opinion, which I think was useful in later stages, but I was still working on that for a long time. And then another thing is the importance of role models, of course. Maybe being, it's always, or I think it's always easier if you already know what you want to do. So for me, it was easy because as of the age of 16, I knew that this is what I wanted to do. So then it's much easier to plan your next career moves or education or anything else that you need to do to get there. And then, what helped me to a great extent was self-awareness, because when I was younger, I had a huge imposter syndrome and all these kind of things. So I think that as we build self-awareness, you learn what you're good at and what you need to develop or improve at. It really helps. But then it really helps if you also realize that you don't need to be perfect, which is oftentimes something that as women, we want to be perfect at or please people. So just the realization that it's okay if you don't know everything in the world, because then you couldn't start really with. By statistics, Eurostat found out that young women up to 25 years of age in Slovakia have the lowest self-esteem in the European Union, which is quite alarming. And then, of course, if you want to improve this, it's a very deep problem. So it's not something that we can just fix in a few steps or by reading a book. And I think that what is very important is to destigmatize mental health care or mental health awareness as well. And as well seeing therapy as a self-development tool, that it's not, in Slovakia, we do still have stigma around talking about, for example, therapy and so on, but because so many of our maybe confidence-related issues or, something such as imposter syndrome and so on are rooted in a way how we were socialized from childhood till our adulthood years. It is deep, and it helps if you have someone who can help you overcome that, for example, by therapy, and that therapy can help you to being more self-aware, in a sense that you understand yourself, you understand your motivations, you understand why certain things may make you feel uncomfortable as well, and you know how to work with it effectively. And of course that we can always go by some advice, recommendations, rules that are proven to help, but nothing helps as much as if you focus on the root causes of maybe some barriers that you're facing. So for me, this hand in hand with some coaching and so on is a great tool of how to overcome the barriers. There's also a difference. So therapy usually looks at root causes and looks into the past and tackles these issues so that they are not a problem in the future. And then coaching focuses more on your future and on the other steps that you want to do. Also, going to therapy doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with someone's mental health. It really serves as a great tool for self-awareness, and just like a self-development tool to a great extent, understanding yourself, being able to advance, to even know what you want to. I think also the advice would vary depending on who you're speaking to, because I think that, of course, there's a difference in the cultural settings that we come from. So, for example, maybe in our post-communist countries in this region and so on, challenges may differ from the challenges in Western Europe. But generally, I would say that if you're looking for ways of how to advance your leadership, I think finding a mentor is the greatest shortcut. And many young women or women in general may be shy to ask, but in my experience, you can ask literally anyone, like top class in your field. And usually people are very happy to work as your mentor, to meet with you. And, we are just happy that we have something that we can pass on to other people. So I think that would be one thing. Another thing, as I said, therapy. We always talk about therapy, coaching, and so on. These are great tools. But also, it's important that we don't want to be perfect and everything, and don't just wait, because oftentimes we wait till we think we need to get all the expertise that there is in this field. For example, to apply for a promotion, or to change a job, or to get credit for something. And in this way, we wait much longer than maybe men who are socialized in a different way. So it's important to know that, as we said, there is this KPMG study that says that a man just needs 60% compliance with the criteria to apply for a job. So also for us to just realize that 60% may be enough, that we don't need to be twice as good. And to also realize that we are not here to please everyone around us.
Well, I do think that I always had a kind of a dream to do something meaningful. I didn't know really in the beginning what, but I wanted to be independent. I'm stubborn. I think that is a really good quality. Even if I'm kind of structured, I want to be organized, I still think that anything is possible if you just twist and turn. And that strength, I think, makes me try things, curious, and it has to go. I need to do something. So that is my strength. I've been doing this by myself. I didn't have that support from home, because my parents were like working constructioners, and they didn't know things that I wanted to do. So it was kind of a new area for them. They could never imagine to start their own business. So I don't know, that probably made me that I had to do it myself, and if I wanted to go somewhere. So I think stubbornness and a dream of something, what I didn't really know, but it took me on the path to go forward and never give up. I actually met my boss that I have today. and she is a big role model for me. And she's been a big support as well. So to be like her, that would be something that I would like to achieve. But we are different as a person. So of course I know that we can't, and I have my own, skills and drive. But she's a big role model, I think. And I think it's so important that you allow yourself to not succeed every time. Failure is okay, and it's a learning process. How can I do better? So of course I've been failing, but I'm kind of a careful person as well within. So that's a big step for me, that actually I dare to cross my own limits.
Biggest factor that helped me become a successful woman is once I figured out what I want in life, like what my purpose is, and I really got to know myself, the positive things, but also the things that were holding me back. I think that was the most important time in my life where I really had to do the self-reflection and understand myself better. So I think it's very crucial to identify what's really holding you back, or what is maybe, or what are maybe some beliefs I have in my life about myself that I'm afraid of, so I can tackle my goals. So I think for me, it was very important to do the self-reflection part and to really identify what I want, what do I want in life, and build my skills around that. So another thing for women, which I get asked very often, is, okay, how do you deal as a woman in this kind of, let's say, competitive surrounding, how to become successful? And I think it's also very important, once you know what you want, once you have your vision in life, and you have your goals, that you really stay true to yourself, to your own values, and learn to say no. Like, to set personal boundaries was one of the most important things I had to learn in order to let myself grow. I think that's one of the most important thing as a woman you have to do. That helped me. What I think is that in some cases women don't really use the voice they have and the power they really have, and rather choose the path to keep themselves small. So an example I can give you is about this whole negotiation thing. When you have to negotiate about money in the company, or you want to negotiate about a different position you want to have, many women don't want to step out of their comfort zone and really speak up for themselves, and really believe in their strength, in their skills, and that they're, even in most cases, even better in doing the job than a man. But it's all about the self-confidence you have to build, and you have to represent yourself. So I think one thing I always observed was the negotiating part. When you have to negotiate about a better status, even if it's more money, or even if you need a vacation day, everything that has to do with negotiating, it's very difficult for women. And I think that's because we live in a system where many women are labeled as very emotional, irrational human beings, that are not able to have a strong leadership as a man. So I think as a woman, when you always confronted with these kind of things in a surrounding at work, it's difficult for most of women to speak up. So I think the surrounding is very crucial. And on the other hand, Vicky, studies also show that women are more likely to fulfill a strong role in leadership because of their emotional intelligence and social skills they have. So I think that's a crucial part when it comes to, like I mentioned before, to use your voice, to stand up for yourself, and to be confident, not to be afraid. First of all, it's so important to believe in yourself. I know we've heard it all along in social media or whatever, but really believe in yourself and to set clear goals and just follow the vision. I know it might be challenging for some women to really understand what they're good at and to confront their fears, which is so important because we all have at some point some fears, self-doubts, and it's so important to get to know it, to get to know yourself before you try to fit in other people's expectations or systems or in a work field where you're not even comfortable. So before just rushing into things or rushing into a job, I would rather recommend to take time for yourself, to really work on yourself, and be disciplined about your goals. Talk to other women, get inspiration, don't be too harsh on yourself. That's the journey I've personally been on, and I can really recommend that to just practice discipline, self-reflection, and also in terms of identifying your purpose. I know this is a topic which is challenging for many women, especially when it comes to, okay, what do I want in life? Do I want a career? Do I want a family? What want society me to do? Like, what's the right thing to do? First of all, just relax, take a seat, and write down what am I good at. So this is the first hack. Just write down, what am I good at? It doesn't have to be complicated. What is my natural skill? Like, what can I do for hours and I'm not even bored at it? Like, what's inspiring to me? What is the thing I want to change in the world, and how can I get better every day, step by step? Like writing, self-reflection, and also always get out of your comfort zone. Try to talk to different kind of women who are on a different stage than you, who have achieved something, and always go with a positive mindset